All right, what's up, guys and gals? We apologize for the wait today. I'm so sorry. My ISP decided today, of all days, to start being super horrible again. So I was able to come up with a solution though, and we are finally live for the first episode of The Grill. I'm super excited. This is a 6-month, 6-episode project with Desoladies. We're going to be highlighting women who contribute to the Dota 2 scene, and this is going to be covering a plethora of topics, but today we are going to be talking about cosplay, which is very near and dear to me, of course. So I have 3 awesome women with me. We're going to go through and introduce everybody, and they're going to tell us what they are eating. Let's go ahead and start with you, Reinessa. What's up?
Right, well, hi everyone. Thanks for having me. As you can see under my little video thing, I'm Reinessa, and a lot of you know me as a cosplayer. I would say my notable ones are a recent Rubik, and further longer ago would be Beastmaster. And today I have raspberries. They are sour, and I might make funny faces, but I love them.
That's awesome. So before we were talking about asparagus. Are you not an asparagus fan?
No, I don't understand. My mother loves it, and I have bad childhood associations because I hate it so much.
Oh no, that's no good. All right, let's go ahead and go on to our second cosplayer, who is RehabGNaked. I love the name so much. What's up, Rehab? How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I guess I should explain that name. A lot of people ask me about it, but it's really simple. It's just an anagram of my real name. Doesn't mean anything special at all. First of all, I'd like to apologize for not having my cam online right now. I'm so sorry. There'll be a new one soon. But yeah, I'm Rehab, and I suppose my most notable cosplays in Dota have been Necrophus and Elder Titan, but I've made a few others as well.
Awesome. That's great. Okay, and our fourth cosplayer, or third cosplayer actually, where did I get 4, is Lilisliph. How's it going, girl?
Hi, pretty good.
Good.
You know me as Legion Commander. Pretty much it, actually. I did TA a long time ago, but nobody's ever seen that. And I'm eating pizza and berry juice,
Ooh.
and I just make cosplay and small trinkets.
Oh, that's fun. What kind of trinkets do you make?
Just random whatever I want to make in my spare time. Like, I tried making chainmail out of glass pearls once.
That's awesome.
And just
that sounds work intensive.
Yeah, it was. I was really surprised at how long it took. But just random stuff.
Awesome. And for those of you that don't know, Lilisliph actually won the cosplay contest at TI6. What?
So most of you probably know who she is.
Yes.
That Legion.
That costume was made entirely out of fiberglass, right?
Pretty much, like 90% fiberglass.
That's amazing.
A good portion other plastics.
That's great. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to our first question. I really am curious where you guys got your start with cosplay and how you got into it.
Well, I can start with that. I thought I got into cosplay before TI4 because I wanted to feel connected to the community and kind of demonstrate that I was as into all of this as all these other crazy people. But the longer I've done this and the more I've talked to my mother about how crazy I am, I've sort of put my life in perspective and realized that I've been dressing up for every single thing I've ever had the chance to dress up for my entire life. If there was a reason to wear a costume, I was in it. Like, I know I dressed up as a bunny for Easter when I was in preschool. It's just because I wanted to be in a costume all the time. So what I would officially call cosplaying was, it's only been 3 or 4 years, but I think it's been a lifelong just obsession.
I think the start for me was really just to get into Dota, because I've only cosplayed Dota so far, and I think it was, first of all, I more looked at myself as a Dota fan and only as a cosplayer second. And it was just my way, and still is, of expressing that fandom, I guess. I didn't have much to do with gaming at all before TI4, and then someone introduced me to Dota and to the pro scene, and I started getting totally crazy about it. And when I made my first cosplay, it was Draw Ranger. I really thought it was a one-time thing. I thought I make this one, I try to make it as good as possible, even though I have no experience at all. And that's it. But I got kind of crazy about it, and I really couldn't imagine not working on a cosplay right now. Just when I finish one, I start the next one. That's just how it goes. By the way, I forgot to mention my snack, even though I'm very proud of it, because I made a homemade raspberry milkshake, and it's pretty cool.
Ooh,
pretty damn
raspberry
good.
milkshake. Oh,
I'd sign up for that.
Yeah. But
That's
I did put it in the freezer to, allow it to be nice and cold when we finally go live. And now it's kind of frozen solid, so
oh no.
It will be fine soon, I'm sure.
That's no good. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say though, I've seen your stuff like all over Twitter. I feel like you're always working on something. I saw your Necrophos. Whenever you were working on that, you posted a lot of work in progress pictures, and I was just like, oh man, this girl is legit. Because I think you had like just finished something once you started that as well.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, I don't have that much time, and I think I take quite a long time on a cosplay. So it always takes a bit. And on Twitter especially, I try not to post too much progress stuff. I usually put that on like Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, it really how it works. It's always like half through a cosplay, I really have to force myself to focus on the one I'm working on right now and not to get sidetracked and already start thinking about the next one. I have that right now again, and I'm so annoyed by myself. So yeah, I really need to stick with what I'm doing to actually finish it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Are you the same way actually, Lilisliph?
Yeah, pretty much I have to always be thinking about it because I figured out that whenever I plan for something, it always takes me like 3 times longer. So if I'm not thinking about it, I'm losing precious time.
Why do you think that is? Are you like, do you get into the details really heavily? Like, I feel like with the fact that you won TI6, you must have concentrated on that cosplay pretty hard, especially since it was made of fiberglass. Like, what?
Well,
Yeah, I haven't wrapped my head around that one.
I know. I'm like, how did she do it?
I was lucky that cosplay was like a progression of improving it every year. Like I made it for TI5 just because. And so for each year, I just kept improving lots of things and repainting it pretty much every year. So it only took me like 5 months to get it TI6 ready. Only 5
So in
months.
total, several years?
Several years, yeah, I guess. I've lost track, but
That's
it,
deserve to win, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you tell me, like, sorry, continue.
oh, no, I'm just I feel like it was good that I already had the core parts that I needed and just needed to make it look exceptionally good and just fix all the things that was broken because a lot of it was broken.
Can we get into, like, the technical side of working with fiberglass? How do you do that? That sounds so complicated.
It's awful, and I suggest you never do it.
Okay, good to
I never
know.
want to do it again. I'm trying to move on to, like, acrylic, but acrylic is more expensive than fiberglass, so if you don't have a great budget, you should choose fiberglass, but then you'll spend the rest of your money buying safety equipment, like face masks and gloves and saran wrap to wrap your arms in, and yeah, I suggest you don't do it because it's really sticky. Like first you have to coat everything in the base resin, and then once that's dry, like a day later, you have to put the actual fiberglass sheets on and coat that and let that dry for a while, and then put on a couple more layers of resin so it's smooth, and then you have to sand that all down, and that's when you can hurt yourself with the shards of glass.
That sounds so dangerous.
It is. It's bad.
And I thought burning my fingers on my Warbler was
I
annoying.
know.
Yeah. And you have to do this outside, like in like medium temperatures. It's not too hot, so it doesn't dry too fast, and also it's really toxic smelling. Like you could probably kill yourself.
Oh my god.
What
That's
were you
so good.
thinking choosing that material, to be
It was
honest?
cheap,
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess.
and it was
It's a good point.
It was what most people use. Like I did a lot of research on it, and it was the thing to do. But I'm learning that's not the case anymore. You should use like acrylic or something.
What tools and like type of materials do you guys usually use?
I prefer to sew. Armor making and props and all of that is new for me. So most of my cosplays are sewn, if I can. I'm trying to learn how to branch out from that, but it's a very slow process.
Yeah, whatever I like most, but I definitely like least is sewing, because I'm just really bad at it. That's all. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I'm awful at it. I don't know. So yeah, I try always to have some aspect in my cosplays that I need to sew, but yeah, I prefer the props and the armor and stuff like that. Really do.
Yeah, definitely. I do not like sewing. And I don't know why I undertook this like kigurumi project recently, which is just completely sewing, and that's it. That was
You do
not
it
smart.
so much, you get over your hatred of it.
I'm hoping that happens. I'm hoping. Maybe like the end result will inspire me to not hate sewing as much as I do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still hate it. It looks better when I sew things than when I make armor, so I deal with it. And also, sewing is really fast, is what I like. I don't have to prime. I don't have to sand. I don't have to paint. I don't have to wait for crap. I can buy something somebody already wove and made look all pretty, and I just have to make it fit me.
I'm
Yeah,
like the
definitely.
opposite. Like I hate sewing because it never turns out the way I want it to. Whereas
Exactly.
hard things like wood and plastic, I know what's going to go wrong. I can always chop it off and fix it.
I can bend you to my will.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing. Yeah, I usually like using like Warbla. I find really fun to work with. I don't know why, but at the same time, I definitely see how sewing could be, I don't know, could be your favorite part of it. So
I mean, I made 2 cosplays for Boston, Enchantress and Marana, and they were both mostly sewing. And so each cosplay took me a Saturday, and then like a little bit of hand sewing throughout the week because the fur was so thick. The main cosplay took me a Saturday. The bow for Marana was fast, that was easy, but the spear for Enchantress took me like 6 weekends because my Dremel was battery powered, but the battery only lasted for 15 minutes of sanding and took 4 hours to charge. And so I would have to like sand a little bit of the ethifoam that I made the spear out of, and then just wait until the next day and then sand. It was the most irritating thing ever. I was so frustrated because I was just so used to cosplays being done. Like I made my Pudge in 2 hours in the morning one day, and my Queen of Pain was like over the course of a couple. I'm just used to them being really fast, and it was so frustrating to have it take so long.
I'm so jealous. It feels like with everything that I've done, it's very slow. I know with Drow, which was the first one that I did, it was so obnoxiously slow. I did it while I had gotten my wisdom teeth out, and it was like over the course of 2 weeks working like 10 hours a day. Probably because I failed so much along the way, but
I'm making
2
a
weeks,
draw
that's
right
nothing.
now. Yeah.
No? What's the longest
No,
one
that's
that you've
nothing.
taken, that you've done?
Like my cosplays, as a rule, I think as a guide, I think I usually spend 400 hours on one cosplay.
Oh my god.
Mine are like 25 hours max.
And I think it's so interesting that, I mean, we are so different in that regard, but also I feel that a lot when I talk to other people. They're like, why do you make so few cosplays? Reinessa made another 3 in that time. They're like, yeah, sorry, that's not the same thing. Cosplays aren't all the same.
Yeah, I'm much less detail oriented. Like if you look up close at mine, I don't usually try and match the in-game character that closely. I think more about my body type and what I'll be comfortable in. And if I see a detail, I'm like, it's cool, but So I usually have like one or two cosplays I put a lot into. Like my Rubik was one of the more effort cosplays that I've done where I paid a lot of attention to details. And that's why I do so many femme ones, because I don't actually have to follow a model that closely. I can do whatever I want because there's not an actual official version of it. So mine go a lot faster because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. It's just different way to look at that. And even when I do, for example, Necrophos, obviously male hero or Elder Titan, I always try to change as little as I possibly can, even when I change the gender. So yeah, I end up with a lot of hours. It's just, and I don't mind that at all. It's just two different ways of cosplaying. It just sometimes can be a little frustrating when it's just not seen. So basically, people complain to me that I take so long. It's like, guys.
Yeah, it's like, guys, they're really
Well,
good
I'm
cosplays. Just
supposed
wait.
to do this.
You just need to post like the progress picture album that shows all of the obnoxious steps and just be like, this is why this took me 4 months. You're welcome.
Yeah, I guess I should do that. But sometimes I'm just, it's taking so long. I'm not going to stop and take pictures in the middle of it. So I try to take pictures every now and then, but yeah, I tend to forget.
I'm horrible.
How do you guys feel about like?
I'm filming my entire drow build so that I can make like tutorials for it, because I realize there are 0 Dota tutorials for cosplaying and stuff. So, and I'm really curious how other people built theirs. So I filmed the whole thing, but I've realized that it stopped me from working on it a couple of times, where I wanted to like go make part of it, and I'm just like, I don't want to put on pants. And I'm not working on this cosplay because I'm not. I was like, I can't, because I can't film this part, and I just refuse to.
The story of my life, man. The eternal struggle of having to put on pants.
That's the real reason I don't have the cam on, right? I'm just not dressed, guys. I have to admit
Definitely.
it. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that, like, age-old accuracy problem? Do you feel like with accuracy is something that people should try to reach for and be as accurate as possible? Or what are your own opinions on that?
I would never say should, because I think it's totally fine that different cosplayers have different approaches. But for myself, accuracy is definitely important, and I always try to be as accurate as I can.
And obviously for me, it's I love other really accurate cosplayers. One of the judges at TI, Anela, I started following her afterwards, and she's freakishly accurate. Absolutely perfect on every detail, and it's fascinating to me. I love it. But I know I could never do that, and it would suck all the fun out for me. I love it when other people do it, though. It's great.
What about you, Lil?
Yeah, I get chastised a lot for wanting things to be too accurate. And I know I'm going to have that problem with my next cosplay because the proportions are way off. But I generally want things to be as accurate as possible to the point where I don't finish things a lot because I've taken too much time out of trying to make everything perfect. Which is why it takes, like she said, 400 hours to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you feel that with the whole fiberglass project. Like you said, how many years did it take to actually complete that one? 5?
All the main parts took, it was a 3-year costume since I brought it to TI5, and all the main parts took, like, I guess, the whole summer to make, and then updating those parts and fixing it, because a lot of those parts broke, actually, between events. Would take, like, a month of shaping and painting, because painting takes a really long time to dry for solid objects, especially if you're using spray paint or car paint.
Yeah, the what's the flexi dip? No, plasti dip. That takes. I don't know if you've ever used that, but there's something called plasti dip, and it's for touching up cars. And a lot of people use the clear one for sealing, which dries really fast. But if you use the color one, I used it on my Queen of Pain because I made foam armor, so it was still really mobile, and this paint stretches so it won't crack or anything, but I had to let each coat of it dry for a minimum of 8 to 12 hours every time.
It's recommended that most spray paints need a drying time of 4 hours to like a day, depending on the temperature. And I have used Plastidip, but on foam, I actually use something similar, FlexiDip. It's like for cars that you can peel off the car whenever you want a new coat of paint. That I order from some website, and it comes in way more colors.
Yeah, Plastidip was definitely limited. I just use it for the clear one now.
Yeah, I forgot to do that for Legion, and now a lot of the paint is like starting to peel off, and I need to repaint it if I ever want to use it again.
Oh no.
See that I ran out of time again last year, and I couldn't just lacquer the whole thing.
At least they gave us really good advance notice this year for TI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but for Kiev, for example, there's nothing at all. Whenever I go to a major, there is nothing for cosplayers.
And I was actually really surprised because I expected an Eastern European event.
Exactly.
To have insane cosplay. Now, it could be that they might announce it because they know they're... So the issue with TI, right, is that Dota cosplay in America is not huge at all. So when they announce it that late, there's not a lot of people already planning. If you look at someone like Icor, who's a great cosplayer, I remember talking to her about it, and she kind of threw something together because she wasn't expecting, to put in this huge build for something just because Dota cosplay in America is kind of like, it's not as focused on as when you look at Eastern European or like Southeast Asia or something. So I think they're announcing it so far ahead of time to encourage like the woodwork cosplayers to really push themselves more. And then maybe for Kiev, they'll announce something a week or two before because they already expect everybody over there to have insanely good ones.
Yeah, I was hoping that, to be honest, but now it's only 2 weeks left. And I think it's getting really close, kind of. I tried to contact PGL as well because I was asking if I could bring my swords in because sometimes the venues don't allow for props and stuff. And I'm really worried about that because it's going to be pretty damn expensive to transport these swords. By the way, for those who don't know, I'm working on the Legion Commander Arcana right now with the 2 blades, and it would be so frustrating to transport them to Ukraine and then not be allowed to bring them in. So I just wanted to know beforehand, but so far I haven't got an answer. So yeah, it is a bit depressing, to be honest. I mean, PGL was chosen to organize the TI contest at their own major. Doesn't seem like they care about cosplay all that much, to be honest. But
yeah, they do though. They absolutely love it. So I met a lot of the crew members in Boston, just like from being around, and there were very few cosplayers there, and they were all super excited, and they all wanted pictures, and it was really, and this was just all PGL people, and they absolutely love it. So I would guess that if there's no cosplay competition, then it's someone other than PGL making that decision.
Yeah, I mean that could be, of course, but yeah, it is a bit sad. Just
I'm hoping it's still,
maybe it's still happening.
It could, it could be they're waiting to announce the talent and then announce their like cosplay judges and everything all at once, and that's, you can hope, you can hold on to hope.
Maybe. Maybe
Maybe
there will be a website at one point. That would be exciting.
That gives me so much anxiety whenever it's like that close to an event and then they don't have anything announced. I'm just like, just let me do it. Just let me organize that event for you, seriously, because I don't know how you guys deal with this. That's just so, it drives me crazy. But what would you guys say has been like your favorite costume that you've made?
I was really having a hard time deciding because I loved my recent Mirana, like over the moon, absolutely loved it. And then I went and did a Beastmaster shoot this weekend, and I remembered how glorious it is to wear that cosplay because I'm not like this weird, or I'm not this pretty proper princess, and I don't have like perfect hair, and it's like it's messy, and I'm painted red, and I was in the woods like full sprinting at this tree, and then like launching myself off the tree and landing on the ground in this like growl roar thing, and I was having so much fun just so that I could do a silly video with it. And I was just like, I'm literally sprinting through the woods and like rolling around in the dirt in this cosplay. This is amazing. I feel so free, and this is so much fun, and I just like want to be wild and crazy. And so that one is just forever. It's gonna have to be my favorite.
What about you, Rehab?
Difficult. At the time, it was fun to wear. It was really fun to wear. But it took forever to put on because of the whole body paint thing. So that wasn't too much fun. And Necrophos, I believe, is probably my best cosplay so far. I kind of hope LC to be better, but yeah, I'm not so sure, honestly. Anyway, Necrophos, quick to put on, looked alright, but it was a pain in the ass to wear. It was just horrible. I couldn't breathe, couldn't see, couldn't hear even. No one could hear me. It was like living in this goldfish glass, and the wings were so much more painful than the Elder Titan totem. So yeah, that really wasn't fun to wear. But I still kind of like it. And I just love the set. That's why I chose it, obviously. I just love that crocodile mask that the set has that I made. So yeah, I think it's Necrophos. Sorry, Elder Titan. I think it's Necrophos. Yeah.
Body paint is not fun, so I don't blame you.
It took 2 showers and several face washings to get the Beastmaster red out of my... Like, I went into work on Monday, and this guy was like, did you dye your hair or your roots red? Because I had, like, shoved it back into my hair at the front because I don't wear a wig with that one. And I was like, oh, I guess I missed a spot. And by a spot, I mean the entire side of my head.
Oh, no. What did you use for it?
I just used the Mehron, however you say it, red paint thingy.
Okay. Do those really stick that badly? I didn't know that.
I used finishing spray.
Oh.
I always use this kind of paste that usually like mechanics and stuff use to wash off oil from the hand, stuff like that. And I basically use that as a full body peel, and it kind of works. Skin peel, full body skin peel to wash off the paint. It kind of works.
Have you used body paint before, Lil?
No, and I never want to.
Do it.
Seriously.
I don't think I ever want to use body paint. If I can find workarounds, then I will.
Yeah. I have a full white, like, body stocking thing that I'm wearing for Drow, so that I don't have to paint anything other than my face this year.
Legion Commander will be the first time for me that I have no paint at all. I mean, Necrophos was only the hands, obviously, but because of the mask, but LC will be the first time without. And I have a strange feeling that I will feel a bit naked, because I've never really shown my face unpainted in any cosplay at all.
Will that be? That you feel a little naked? No.
I know. Good one. Yeah.
What body paint
Have you ever
do you
been
usually...
to... Oh, okay, sorry.
That's okay. What body paint do you usually use? Rehab, is it usually Marin too?
No, mine's... The brand, you mean?
Yeah.
It's a German brand. It's called Eulenspiegel. And they have liquid paints, but I suppose I will try other stuff that other cosplayers have made good experiences with.
I've come across a lot of cosplayers who they really prefer the German ones. I don't remember the name specifically, but I've heard like they're the best.
Yeah, the one that many cosplayers use is Farbstark, which I will probably try as well, but it's quite a bit more expensive than Eulenspiegel, so I'm not sure yet. But for example, for Elder Titan, that worked perfectly well. That was great, that paint. but the blue tones and the purplish grayish stuff for TA, that was always a bit problematic, so I might try something else for that at one point.
Maron was really good for my Storm Spirit. They had one called Paradise Blue, and it took me 20 minutes to paint. I had to do arms, chest, and like neck and face and stuff, so no legs, but it was fast and it stayed really well, and it was like bright, vibrant blue with a little bit of sparkle in it. I really liked that one. So anybody who's doing Storm, I would recommend that.
That's awesome. I have a short story here. Obviously, I don't want to like talk too much, but okay. So the first costume that I did was Drow, and I actually used acrylic paint and liquid latex for body paint, and it was awful. I highly recommend that nobody ever use that combination because I went to TI that year and I cosplayed with that weird crusty paint all over my face, meeting everyone for the first time, and the first time I met Zayori, he was like, "You look old." I was like, okay.
It's like, thanks, that's so flattering.
Yeah, thanks, dude. But
How
yeah,
would
it's
you
awful.
ever
Yeah,
have the idea to use liquid latex? I mean, it's such a disgusting material to work with in the first
know.
place.
I've come across it a lot. When I was looking up how to body paint, there was a lot of things of how to do it with liquid latex.
Wow.
And I just looked at it and I went, nope.
I mean, I used it for like the Titan prosthetics, obviously, but it's just so disgusting to work with. This smell, the smell is awful. How would you put that on your skin? I don't believe it. Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a total
The
disaster.
things you do for cosplay, right?
I know, and I looked it up. I did so much Googling, man. Google let me down, dude. It was so bad. It truly was, but never again.
I feel like there should be a time warning on cosplay posts, right? Because you might Google something and it'll come up and it'll be like the most popular result, but it'll be from the early 2000s. And if you think about how far the materials have come since then, just because cosplaying is so much more mainstream and well known now, I do not want to post from the early 2000s telling me how to do something. So I feel like there needs to be a banner, like, warning, this is 10 years old and you will regret this.
God, yes. That would have helped so much.
Yeah, I experienced that last year. I was looking back at my old costume, like, why did I use this method to make this thing? It's the worst. Nothing's attaching correctly. I don't know why I took their advice. Let's just rip it all apart and start over.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's...
Cosplaying used to be uphill both ways. So we can have the old fogies of cosplay tell us how hard it used to be and how lucky we are.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I feel like there needs to be like a tried and true just cosplay center where everybody can just go and learn everything that they need to learn about it before they start making all these horrible mistakes. Although one could say that the mistakes are what make you better. But
Yeah,
still.
I think it feels like it's part of it.
I expect to have to restart not everything 3 times, but at least half of the things I expect to have to try 3 different ways.
Oh, really? I don't ever do that. I go one way and it has to work somehow. I might not be happy with the results. I hate it, maybe, but it has to work somehow.
For me, well, sewing is fast, so I made my drow bodysuit 3 different ways before I was happy with it. But
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's kind of like it's usually sewing. If I'm making armor and it's molded and made, guess what? It's good. We're done.
No, but at that point, you can pile on a bunch of Bondo and take your Dremel and start shaping it and hide all the stuff you did wrong.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see, like, I don't know. I think I would want to see your Legion Commander up close, Lil, just because I feel like it's gotta be super cool.
Again, because I didn't creep on you enough.
It's too much. I don't really want to transport that ever again because it took like 3 suitcases.
Oof.
Yep. Mine too.
Oh my gosh.
And the paint's peeling off, and I'll have to repaint it if I ever want to wear it again. So it'll be an effort I don't have time for. And right now, like, we have only 5 months till the next TI. Every day is going to be spent doing something else for my other costume.
What are you making?
So, Medusa.
Yes, nice. I want to do
Ooh.
that too.
Yeah, like, I wanted to be a snake lady, but
Yeah.
not really naked like Naga. So,
So Medusa.
yeah.
What are you guys,
Good compromise.
Rehab and Reinessa, what are you guys making for TI? Or I guess Rehab you're not, but...
Yeah, thank you.
Hey.
Rubbing it in.
For Kia.
I'm working on a drow, as I've mentioned. It was the first cosmetic ever purchased in my inventory.
Oh.
So
Tear.
it's like special to me for that, and I've always loved the set. It's the Boreal watch set. So she's got like the hood and the face cloak, and I love it. And then I think I want to do another Marana, so it'll be my third one. For some reason, I just really like that hero, so I haven't picked a set yet, but Marana is really fast. Marana takes me 2 days usually to make, so I'll just pick a set and do that one. Because it's just a bodysuit and a skirt in whatever style the set's in, and then just like adding in whatever interesting sleeves or whatever she has. So, because Marana is really minimal as far as all that stuff goes, and I've made it before, so I can just kind of whip it up again, or even use one of the ones I already have if it's close enough.
What are you making for Kiev, Rehab?
For Kiev, it's the LC Arcana that I'm working on. That should be finished by now, but isn't. I hope it will be soon, because I want to start with the next one. That's basically why I'm so annoyed that it's not finished. And the next project will be for ESO1 Hamburg in, October.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope to be making a Santa War Runner cosplay.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that,
With,
though?
like, the back?
It's actually the first time I'm saying this publicly, so announcement right here. I usually don't like to talk about what I'm gonna do before I actually start it, but
Me
that's
too.
like the moment when I start to believe that it's actually happening. But I make a special occasion for you here after this stream. Anyway, so I hope to make the Battle Dress of the Proven. My sister's made an Enchantress cosplay before, and basically I will ask her how she did it and then adjust some stuff and change it up, and I think it will work. I learned a lot with LC, and I think the next one should be pretty fun. I hope it
That's
works.
going to be so cool. I don't think I've ever seen a centaur. Ever.
I don't think I have.
So you're gonna make it like the real quadruped, like the whole
Oh yeah,
action.
for sure.
How are you
the
going
good
to
thing about-
transport that, though? Like...
The good thing is that
You'll be
Hamburg
close.
Hamburg is like 3 hours for me to drive.
Okay.
So I can just, pack the car with everything, and then it will be fine. For example, I took Necrophos to Frankfurt last year, which is like 3 hours the other direction. There would have been no freaking way to transport that any other way, because that stupid size is like, I don't know how to say it for Americans,
Yeah,
but
PVC.
it's pretty damn tall anyway. So,
PVC pipe and connectors are my friend, because I have to fly to everything. Because I only go to U.S. events, but I'm on the East Coast, and most of the events are over on the West Coast.
Oh, so you just break everything down.
Yeah, so all my stuff is it's PVC pipe with connectors. So for Enchantress, I had like a long handle, and then I just sort of hid the connectors within. If you look at my Enchantress staff, there's like these thicker parts where the spear comes out, and then where the fur tail thing comes, and those are actually connectors, and it all breaks down. And my Marana bow is the same. So there's the handle, and then there's the two end pieces, and they actually connect in with PVC connectors, so it breaks down into these, like, I don't know, 40, 50 centimeter pieces, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's always, it makes it a bit more tricky, but it's possible when you know beforehand that you will have to transport it.
And I just assume I will.
Yeah, and I kind of made these for the German events specifically, so I didn't really bother. And for example, the Necro wings would have been pretty tough to transport too. Well, I guess it would have been just expensive, just a big box with stuff. And LC, that's a bit of a problem because I never intended to take this to Kiev at all. I never intended to go to Kiev at all. I didn't think I could afford it, even though it's not so expensive to go. But it was intended for a German event, which got cancelled. And now I'm going to Kiev, so of course I want to take it. And now I have to figure out how to transport these swords. If I had known before, I just made it differently. But now I have these LEDs in there, and I can't really, you know,
Yeah,
light them in two. It's just done. It has to go like this or not at all. So I will work it out somehow.
Well,
I
how
always
did
end up
you?
using extra large baggage, like those as big as the luggage they can carry.
Is that what you did
Yeah,
for your
body
LC?
bag-sized ones.
Like your fiberglass LC? Because I imagine you couldn't really break that down very well, could you?
Actually, I only had issues with the glaive. The armor itself was made of individual pieces that lock together with screws, like the post screws. So that could actually be uniformly placed inside a normal piece of luggage. The glaive, though, was 4 feet long, plus the 4 foot long stick, plus the extra foot of like the thing that goes at the bottom. So that had to be put in like a big bag for fencing tools. This is the biggest thing we had.
Did you
And I'm
put that?
finding
You checked that, right? You like checked it on the plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
it had to be checked through the plane. I mean, it got open and TSA looked at it, but
I'm
My
sure they were
baggage
like,
always gets the little thing that says your bag's been randomly selected. I was like, yeah, randomly, not because I have a bunch of like weapons chilling in it.
yeah,
My luggage will look so crazy because of all the cables going on, because there's so much LED stuff involved. I think that they will be like, oh, what's going on in there? I don't know. But
I try to stress that it's theater supplies and costume stuff. I don't think they care.
yeah, maybe.
Hopefully you have no problems with TI for those of you that are actually going, cough, not rehab, cough. So I do.
I was kind of.
What were you going to say, Nessa?
I was
Yeah,
just
go for
curious. I hate my cosplays until they're done. Like every step of the way, I try them on, and I hate them miserably, and I just think they're horrible, and everything's wrong. I'm very curious if that happens to other people, and if you like need the finished thing, or like if you make it and you're just like, man, I love this part, I'm so excited.
That's really normal. I hate everything.
Yeah.
In fact, I
I still do afterwards.
get too stressed out, actually. Until you're on there and people start taking pictures of you, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay, I guess they like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, okay, I still hate it, but they like it, so I guess it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. I was the same way for sure.
I still don't understand, I have to ask that again. Did you never get tired of Legion Commander in all these years? Like, when I finish a cosplay,
yeah.
I'm so eager to move on. It's like, I'm so sick of that color scheme. I need to do something new. And I never choose another hero that has the same color, because I just get so sick of it.
The first year I did it, I felt like, and I always feel this way, my costume's not complete. Like, I didn't do things right. I need to make it better, even though I went to the event already and people took pictures. So the second year, I actually decided to make a different set. Wings of the Valkyrie, the one with like the really cool angel wings and the really cool just wings everywhere. I thought, yeah, this is a great revamp. It didn't work out well because that was the first time I was working with Warbler, and that was a horrible decision. But I felt refreshed and fine with it because it was new. And I
Yeah,
felt
I see that.
like in game, you get a new item, you feel cool again.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess I can see that. But still, it seems just such a long time.
3 years is enough, though. I'm never doing it again.
I bet that, yeah.
Oh man, I could imagine. There's no way that I could cosplay something for that long. That's just, you gotta really love LC. Do you play her a lot?
No. No. No,
That was a test.
I'm
Good.
a support.
She's not a jungle LC. We're good, guys.
No, I support. That's all I do.
Who's your favorite hero?
Favorite? Well, there's heroes I find really cool and heroes I will only play, meaning Crystal Maiden. That's it. That's it. That's when I used to play, because I don't play a lot really at all anymore because it's really stressful and I have no time. But when I used to, it was just Crystal Maiden. That's it.
Hey, she's really strong now.
Yeah, my 5-stack would put up with that because it was not as stressful as, say, anything you have to choose mid lane.
Yeah. Nessa, are you still like dirty picking Abaddon?
All right. People who come into my stream now and are like, oh, I see you're an ABBA picker. I'm like, excuse you, I've been an ABBA picker for over a year, okay? I did it before it was cool. Don't give me that nonsense. Quit making my hero popular. I liked living in hiding, winning with this constantly.
Is he like super meta now? I don't have a ton of time to play like a lot.
Insanely meta.
Really?
Insanely meta. Yeah, and people, all the casters are like, oh, this is the first time he's being picked. But, so Theban obviously taught it to me, right? Because it's ridiculously overpowered. And Secret used it to get through open qualifiers for TI last year, and Bauble was really, really strong with it. But nobody remembers that. And so Abba has been strong since then, but no one was playing him, and so he just kept getting these like little buffs, and now with the constant fighting meta and everything, he's just really strong because he's a very fast hero. Everything he does is fast, and Pro Dota is very fast, and right now team fights and everything are fast, and low cooldowns are important.
What do you usually build on him?
Oh, every single game. Phase Boots, Vlad's Midas, and then after that, it depends. He has armor problems, and minor mana problems, so Solar Crest. Ags if my team is stupid. Usually that's a yes. Last night I super carried a game against 5 cores because I went Radiance, and the entire 5 core lineup was like, well, frick, I don't know what to do.
I used to love going like Basher and S and Y on him. I thought it was so funny because nobody could ever get away.
Yeah, the passive, the slow, the bash. Oh, he's
it's
such a
so
funny hero.
I love it because you don't expect it, especially back in the day. Like I started playing him around the same time that you started playing him, I think, and it was so funny. Just you hit somebody once as ABBA and they just can't leave. Like they're just stuck in the ground right next to you. What about you, Rehab? What do you usually play?
But these days I don't play at all anymore, to be honest. I just don't have the time. I suppose my favorite hero would probably be Queen of Pain. But
if she could get buffed, that'd be great. I loved her.
It's also a hero I just really enjoy watching. And these days I really just watch Dota more than anything, because the great thing about watching Dota is you can work on your cosplay at the same time. That's the great thing. If I'm gonna play, then I can't do anything else, and I really don't have the time for that. Or I make one cosplay a year, and that's not an option. So yeah, I focus on watching the games. I always had that when I play a game. I always said, oh, what am I missing? What am I not watching right now? Because I really hate missing out on any tier 1 games, or they're not as many online tournaments anymore, but still I really hate missing out on games. So I gotta watch it all and work on my cosplay.
I think that's one of the reasons I prioritize my cosplays being really fast, because I've got work full-time, and then I almost have a full-time streaming schedule. And then, I'm also, I have so many different things going on. I usually get Saturday only to work on my cosplay. And if I choose to work on cosplay on Saturday, that means I'm not editing for YouTube or setting up stream graphics or doing any of that stuff, or going, outside. I see my friends, once every 2 months.
Friends?
What's that? So, like, for me, cosplays have to be fast because even Rubik, it was 25 hours total because I recorded the entire thing because it was for TwitchCon. So I know exactly how long it took. But that was spread out over a month and a half of, like, little pieces here and there and I streamed it too. So I, like, still was streaming and working on cosplay. But if I don't stream it, I have so little time to work on any of it that they have to be fast. And I get bored.
Just different priorities. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. But in 25 hours, I can't make a single sword. I think I can try. I don't know.
Maybe if it was made of wood. But even then.
No,
Yeah. Maybe I am just slow. I don't know if I'm slow, but
yeah, you're very precise.
No.
That's just the difference.
Nessa just has a very special relationship with the people at the craft store. Like, you guys have got to be like best friends by now.
I order almost everything online.
I have had way too many just experiences in craft stores.
Oh yeah?
Okay, story time.
No, okay, so when I was making Queen of Pain, I never, like, I said I would make the cosplay if I got partnered, and I never thought I'd get partnered, so I thought it was, like, a safe thing, right? That I was risking nothing, absolutely nothing. Then I got partnered, I was like, oh, frick. So I had no idea how to do this. I didn't know how to make armor, so I did it all with foam. And I just went to the hardware store to get wire, because I was going to use wire to, like, shape all the armor and hold it in place, since, like, I was using craft foam, not even, like, but, like, thin craft foam. And so I'm in this hardware store.
I still use that a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I use it
Maybe
for
not
something.
with wire.
Yeah, well, I was using wire to, like, hold the boob armor, basically.
Right.
So, like, I wanted some security there. And so you go into a hardware store, and it's always a bunch of old dudes, and they, like, someone always asks, can I help you? Because there's a million things in hardware stores, and they're hard to find. And so I walk in, and I'm just, like, bracing myself for it, and it's this young guy. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I could actually talk about what I'm working on, and he'll be helpful. And he wasn't an art student, but he had friends who were in art school who had done, like, wire projects and stuff, so he was helping me with tools and making sure I picked the right gauge wire, which I hadn't even really thought about at that point. I just thought I need wire and paint. And so he's asking me about the project, and I show him pictures. It's just all these things. And, like, how many people do you run into when you're working at a hardware store? Oh, and it was also after stream, so I, like, looked really nice, but it was a random Saturday that, like, I don't know, I looked way too nice to be out doing errands. It was very confusing, and he asked me out, and it was super awkward and horrible, and I was just like, never again. I'm only getting my stuff off Amazon. This is way too weird. I can't. No, I'm done.
So he helped you find your boob wire? Like...
Yes, and I really shouldn't be surprised. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm dressing up as this like vampire succubus thing. Nice to meet you.
That would have been a great story to tell at a wedding or something. You messed up.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's hilarious. So we're kind of wrapping up at the end of this episode, and I do want to thank you guys obviously so much for putting up with the fact that we got started a little bit later than we expected today, and just for your time and for being here. I really appreciate it. It's very awesome of you. I do have one last question, and that is, what would you say to somebody who's never cosplayed before that wants to get into it? You go, Lil. This is all you.
Oh man, I don't want to use this catchphrase, but just do it. Like, make it out of paper, see how it looks on you, and then maybe try it out with real materials. You just kind of, if you want to dress up as something, you should just go ahead and do it. I mean,
yeah. Mine is always figure out what your priorities are and stick to them.
Yes.
So don't compare yourself to other people. Don't set some standard that doesn't mean that much to you. Figure out what you want and do what you want and what you're happy with so that you end up enjoying yourself, because it should be fun.
Yeah, to that I would add, I totally agree, by the way. I would add, choose something to cosplay that you really want, and don't just choose something because you think it's simple or something, because no matter how simple it is or whatever, if it's your first time and maybe you don't have experience, it will take a while. Unless you're Reinessa, then you're going to be really quick. But usually it's going to take a while, and to keep that the motivation, choose something you really like and you're really passionate about, which is the main reason why I only do Dota. I don't think I could do the same, put the same work in for anything else. And the second thing is, don't forget the attachments. Don't just think about how it looks and then figure out in the end how to attach and how hold everything together. I make that mistake way too often, even though I know it's gonna happen. Still, even today, don't do it. Be smart. Think about it beforehand.
Yes, having a plan set out before you get started, I think, is a great piece of advice.
Even though in the end you can't just do it you can't just make a plan and then you just do it. There are gonna be issues. That's part of cosplay. It's basically overcoming obstacles. That's what you do as a cosplay. But try to think it through. Just try.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't forget.
Absolutely.
Make a spreadsheet.
Or 20.
Get out the Google Docs, guys.
Yeah.
Get out the Google Docs. Do you guys want to tell everyone where they can find more of your work online?
Sure. So I universalized my name. So I'm Reinessa Gaming on every single platform, except YouTube, where I'm Reinessa TV due to unfortunate decisions made 2 years ago. So I stream on Reinessa on Twitch and Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those things, Reinessa Gaming. If you want cosplay stuff, I would say go to Instagram. I usually don't post it on Twitter at all. You can find me at all those places. I do a million different things. I stream, I cosplay, I do weekly-ish Dota news updates, all kinds of things. So there's always something for everybody.
So for me, if you want cosplay only, Facebook is the place to go. I think the link there is Rehab Cosplay, but RehabGNaked always works. You will always find me. So Facebook is only cosplay. Instagram, same name, is, you get the occasional selfie and stuff like that. Twitter, basically me talking shit, and the occasional picture as well. But yeah, that's the 3 platforms you can find me on, and you will always find me if you search for RehabGNaked.
My name's pretty universal at this point too. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. I'm definitely going to be upping my posts more as I start making the costume for real next week. Yep, those are it for now.
And it's Lilisliph everywhere, right?
Yep.
Lilisliph.
And that's
Yeah.
your Twitch too, right?
Yeah, but I don't really stream really at all. I tried, and it was really worrisome dealing with all the people I had to deal with.
Yeah, it can definitely be that way for sure. Well, thank you guys so much once again. If you guys would like to learn more about Rehab Reinessa or Lilisliph, we will make sure that we post their information when this video is uploaded to YouTube. And we will see you next month for episode 2 of The Grill. I really like this project. I think that it's really cool, and I can't wait to see more from it. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you next month. Bye!